Hi, everybody. Welcome to this episode of our Sanity podcast. Alisyn Camerota with Dave Briggs. And we are so excited to be joined by our old friend, Nischelle Turner, who has just had a meteoric rise in all sorts of reporting and entertainment reporting. And Nichelle, it is such a pleasure to talk to you and to watch you on the red carpet and to watch you every night on ET. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you so much, Alisyn. You know, I mean, we worked together for many years at CNN, and I'm so proud of you stepping out and creating this space for yourself. I think it's really cool. I think this is the future of media in a lot of ways. So I'm really excited for this for you guys. And I'm good. We just finished award season on Sunday. So if I look a little bleary-eyed, like, ooh, Lord, that is because I still haven't caught up on sleep. And I kind of dove right back in. This week has been a wild one. So I'm good, but I'm always ready to chat it up about the good stuff going on over here in Hollywood.
Right on. I mean, before Dave wants to get to the big picture of Hollywood, but I just want to show everybody because you were on the red carpet. I just want everybody
Well, I've got Oscars questions.
What?
You know.
Yeah, I know you do.
But yeah, she was looking smoking on the red carpet.
Oh, wait. Oh, is that me? Oh.
Damn. Who you wearing?
Oh.
I mean, you look like a Hollywood star there.
Hollywood star.
Listen, I had Kelly Ripa said to me on Oscar Sunday, there's so much fabric to this dress and there's still so much skin showing. She was talking about herself, but that was the same way with me. I'm like, there's so much fabric here, but literally it's not covering anything. I don't understand how that even happens.
That's my favorite kind of fabric.
Right? Why is there so much material here, but there's so much skin showing everywhere?
Right. It's so a combo.
Nichelle, we had an argument about the Oscars in which I was down on them in particular this year. I do love Conan, but Alisyn said it's glitz, it's glamour, and she said it's the Super Bowl of film. And I said, yeah, exactly. This was the freaking Super Bowl with the Jets and the Giants. I like two great teams. I like great teams, and there was no great teams in this Super Bowl from my perspective.
Okay, I'm going to disagree.
Wrong?
I am going to disagree a little bit. Yes, I think that you're wrong in the big picture of it. I understand what you're saying because for so many people at home, this happens year after year, and I think this is something that the Academy needs to address. A lot of the movies people didn't see because they're smaller movies, they're indie movies, but it doesn't mean they're not incredible movies. I think that falls more on the Academy. It falls more on the marketing teams for these movies for more people to see them. So I do think there was a lot of great stuff out there. My favorite movie of the year did not get nominated, so I'm still salty about that. September 5.
What's that?
Best movie of the year.
Never heard of it. What is it?
Dave, turn in your media card. Turn it in.
You don't know it either.
I'm pretending I do. Quiet.
Both of you.
Go on,
Hey,
Nichelle.
so it's the story of how ABC Sports covered the 1972 Munich Olympics and the hostage situation that happened with the Israeli team, right? And it was the story behind that. And it was from the perspective of the ABC Sports team and how they covered that in 1972. It was the rise of Peter Jennings. You saw him in his iteration. It is such an incredible film. The best movie of the year. It was made for us TV folks. It was literally made for us.
I'm writing it.
You do need to see it.
Watching that.
After you guys see it, I want you to literally either text me or come back to me and let me know. It's an incredible movie. And it was nominated for Golden Globe as Best Picture. I really thought it was going to be nominated for Best Picture. It deserved to be, and it wasn't. So I was a little upset about that. But there were a couple other movies that I was a little upset that didn't get nominated as well. The Piano Lesson, one of them as well. I thought Gladiator 2 was an incredible film and it didn't get nominated as well. But there were some really good films. You had to commit. The Brutalist, I went in at 9 a.m. I came out at 1 o'clock because and I'm not even lying. It's a long one. There's an intermission in the movie. Get up, stretch your legs, go get some more popcorn, get some jujubes, all that stuff. But it's a great film. And in that film, Guy Pearce, in my opinion, had the best performance by an actor on the screen all year. So if you didn't see the movies, then I could understand why you were like, what's happening here? What's happening
I think the only film I saw that was even mentioned all night
was Dune?
Sorry, Inside Out 2, because now that says more about me than film.
Right.
Right.
But listen, when a Best Picture grossed $40 million, that's a problem for Hollywood.
I
I'm
agree.
sorry, it just
I agree.
is.
I
You
agree.
do? You agree? Because my feeling is that Dave was saying they have no relevance, but part of it is because we're not going to the movies to see them.
True.
So whose fault is that?
Well, there's fault that lies on both sides. I can't even believe I'm both sides in an issue right now. But there's
Don't straddle.
you know what I'm
You
saying?
agreed with me.
But I do agree with you, and I agree with you that the problem is a lot of people didn't see these movies. I also agree that I think something that the Academy needs to address, and that they have taken steps to address by really opening up their voting body and adding more people and different schools of thought to their voting body, is that for such a long time they kind of turned their noses at the tentpole films, thinking that like a big blockbuster, big budget movie couldn't be a best picture. 3 years ago, I guess it was, Top Gun Maverick was the best film of the year. It just was. And it made $1.5 billion. And I think that people were afraid to say, oh, this is the best picture because it's such a, blockbuster film. It was a perfect movie from start to finish, a 10, a real 10. And so I think that the Academy gets full of themselves sometimes and thinks, well, we got to air to the art and the indie, but you can make art with big films. Dune 2 was nominated this year. It definitely was one of the best pictures. Huge film. Like, I think that those movies are out there and they deserve that credit. And a lot of the times the Academy looks past it. I think it's changing. So that's where I agree. Yeah, that's where I agree with Dave. Yeah. But on your side of it, Alisyn, I agree with that too.
70-30 on my side. I
agree with it. Yeah, I agree with it too, because I think it aligns with some people's marketing teams. Like, you really got to pitch these movies for people to see. You really got to, you got to lean into what people will love about them in order for us to go out and see these movies. I'm going to see them all because I have to see them all. But your average everyday people are not. They're just not.
Yeah, but it's also motivation for me. Like, Dave sees it as, forget it, not relevant. I didn't see any of them. I don't care. But I watch it like, oh, that does sound good. It's just kind of a motivation. Like, this is a goal of mine for the next.
You didn't watch it. You didn't watch it.
She's gonna. She's gonna.
I'm going to. Thank you, Nichelle.
Listen, you can see, you can rent Anora at home right now. It won.
Right. I saw that.
Rent it at home. Well, I did too.
Yeah.
Don't watch it with your children. Don't watch it with your mother or your father.
I'm so glad you're telling me this. Because I didn't see it. I saw that I can watch it at home.
Yes.
And my mother was like, oh, I'll come over and watch
it.
No,
don't do it. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
We will not be doing that.
And as good as all this was, the best drama on the planet is playing out in the courtroom, because Blake versus Baldoni is easily the most gripping drama in Hollywood. Can we just go back to the very start?
Oh, boy. Okay.
What lit the match? I did see the film. I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. I am a Blake Lively fan. He is a very handsome devil, that Justin Baldoni. What was the spark? What was the match that lit the fire?
That's a very good question. I think that's what we're trying to unearth right now, because there are two very different stories that they're telling about what lit this match, about what happened here. I will tell you, we sat down with Colleen Hoover and Justin Baldoni just a couple weeks before all of this exploded. We did it at an exclusive with them together. They loved each other. They were arm in arm, and everything was great. Colleen Hoover, of course, is the author of the book that they turned into the movie. And we also...
It ends with us.
Yes, we also sat down with Blake Lively, to talk about the film, and everything was fine then. The first little inkling we got was at the premiere, and we interviewed Justin Baldoni, and we asked him about directing, and he said to us, his response was, well, Blake should direct the next film. I mean, I think she's ready to direct. At the time, we didn't know what a telling statement that was, and he was giving a dig. We didn't know he was giving us a clue. We didn't know he had to go to the basement after he talked to us, because he couldn't even be in the same room with her that night. But a couple days later, we started unearthing this, because we were getting information that the cast didn't want him with them at the premiere, that he had to go to the basement and be separated from everyone else and watch the movie in a different theater with his family, because they didn't want him around. And then we started getting the leaks about what was happening on the set, that there was strife on the set. And again, I'm saying we got two very different stories, and we continue to get two very different stories. From Blake's side, we get, she was feeling uncomfortable. She felt sexually harassed. She felt like there were a lot of inappropriate things being said to her, a lot of inappropriate comments. And when we hear that, our immediate, thought is you want to believe the woman. You want to believe that if this was a terrible working environment, oh my goodness. But then we see this story come out, in the New York Times, and we see this evidence that Blake has given to them, text messages, things like that. And you're like, wow. And then a couple days later, you see Justin Baldoni say, well, hold on a second here, because you didn't get the full story. Number one, you didn't give me proper time to respond. Number two, you cherry picked, and we don't know if it's the New York Times or Blake's team that cherry picked these type of messages to make me look like a monster, but I'm going to give you everything. Here are the exact messages. Here are the conversations in full. Here's what was actually said. When she said, you're showing me pornography, this was a showing a home birth that we were trying to give context to the film of one of the producers, his wife's home birth. This wasn't pornography. When you're saying, oh, he came to my room unannounced when I was breastfeeding, well, here are text messages from you saying, well, I'm just breastfeeding, but if you want to come run lines, come on over. And so then you think, whoa, what's happening here? I think a lot of people are wondering if two things can be true at the same time.
Yeah.
Yes, this may be the case.
You know what I'm
think
saying?
that's the answer.
Can that be the case?
I totally agree with you, Nichelle, because like you, after every single document dump or text message reveal,
it's a tennis match.
I'm Team Blake, Lively, then I'm Team Baldoni, then I'm Team Lively.
Where are you now?
Right now, I'm with Baldoni.
Oh, I'm Team Blake.
I'm Team Baldoni because of what Nichelle was just saying. When he puts out like that behind the scenes outcut that he put out, where she was like, he was trying to kiss me in this scene. He was sniffing me. He ran his nose up and down my neck. And she's like, oh, okay, I happen to have that outcut. Let me put it out into the public. And he's like, okay, so is this good? She's like, yeah, I think we should be talking. He's like, okay, no problem. And they're doing a scene. And the second it ends, he goes, cut. And he walks away like he's back to professional. They're clearly in character. Then they're out of character. And you see it all so quick. Not that.
We'll get to that in a moment.
That was me.
We'll get to that.
So
that wasn't it ends with us. That was it begins with Nichelle.
That was another outcut. We'll get to that. So basically, Nichelle, it's turned into a circular firing squad.
What can I mention?
This?
Can I mention something though, Alisyn, to that point you made about please. That 9-minute piece of video, behind the scenes video, or actually I guess raw video from the movie that we saw. It's so interesting that you interpreted it that way, because I think that has also been something that when it came out, I think Baldoni's team thought that would be a smoking gun for them, and I don't think it was. I do think it kind of showed exactly what we're saying. I did feel like she was uncomfortable in that scene. I did feel like he was trying to work through that scene. But I thought that might have lent a little bit more to her, because I did feel like she was saying in the talking, she was like, no, let's not kiss. Let's talk. It builds it. And he was kind of trying to lean in, and she was like, no. And I did feel like she felt a little uncomfortable there. I also did not like in that piece of evidence, and I felt like, why would you release this? He took a shot at another actor. He took a shot at Jenny Slate when it was about, your nose, when he said she was making fun of his nose, he was like, yeah, well, that's why I hired Jenny Slate, because we have the same nose. And I'm like, whoa, why did you do that out of the blue? Like, you're the director and you're the lead of this film. You just took a shot at another actor. And I don't know if you were trying to do that, but you did. So now does that lend to the fact that maybe you do make inappropriate statements and you might not even know that you're saying things that are inappropriate? Because if I was Jenny Slate, which now we've seen her, come out and support Blake and say she could testify in the trial, I'd be mad. I'd be pissed if my director and my lead actor, I heard him basically say, I got a big ass nose and that's why I was hired. Like, that would make me mad. That would make me. So it continues to be a lot. And we've got another year of this.
Ooh. I mean, what I was thinking was, heaven help us if anybody gets our outtakes, and I always felt this way on Fox and Friends. if anybody gets our outtakes,
True.
You can either depict us as monsters or you can depict us as however you want, because a lot is said during commercial breaks.
Yeah.
A lot is said between people who are acting as though they're in a relationship. So I guess what I mean about that clip was they were clearly to me, they were acting. Do they have different styles?
Yeah.
Yes. Was she like, I think we should talk? He was like, okay, but I think it's also good to do this. Like, they had different styles. I didn't.
And she did try to hijack clearly some of the directing of the film, which was not her
100%,
job by any
100%
means. She was not hired for that.
No.
But ultimately, that is not grounds for a lawsuit.
Agreed.
No.
Can anyone win here in the end, or are they both just going to be collateral damage?
Well, at this point, in the court of public opinion and in the court of Hollywood, right now, I think the court of Hollywood, I think Blake is winning because Justin's team, let him go. His representation at CAA let him go. I think that it's going to be tough for him to get another job. Blake's about to debut her new movie at South by Southwest this weekend, A Simple Favor, the sequel. So I think in the Hollywood court, it's leaning towards Blake right now. In the court of public opinion, in just the public, I think that people are leaning toward Justin right now. In the actual court, I don't know if anybody can win. I mean, Blake's in court today for a hearing to try and increase the protective order that she filed against Justin. I think she wants to shut down a lot of the communication that they're seeking, because at first it was like, I want to give the information, the text, voicemails, and now she's saying, no, I want these to be protected. I think her, publicity team is in the mix of that too. So we'll have to see. It's going to be a few days before the judge rules on it, but I don't necessarily know that she will win this one because she kind of initiated it.
What about Ryan, though? What about Ryan Reynolds, who by all accounts was beloved by just about everyone to my account? How does he come out all this? Because I don't
he doesn't
think
look great right now.
like roses.
He doesn't look great right now because, two, they were kind of caught in, I don't like to call people a lie because I was always taught you don't call people liars, but they were caught in one when, we were interviewing Blake and she said, my husband rewrote, nobody knows this, but my husband wrote this scene, but then also they were playing it like she rewrote the scene. So when Sony saw that, they're like, whoa, what do you mean? This can't happen. What are you talking about here? And there were things kind of behind the scenes, like, she really pushing to take Justin Baldoni off, like the WGA part of it, the PGA part of it, and put her on it. And so, I mean, and put Ryan in the mix as well. He's playing it like I'm a husband that was defending my wife. And I don't necessarily know that isn't the case. I mean, I don't know that if somebody asked how much my partner weighed, regardless of the reason behind it, that might be fighting words. I might call you to my house and want to fight.
But he had to pick her up. I mean, again, he was asking the trainer, how much does she weigh? So I'm going to have to lift her up.
Alisyn, I'm going to tell you. Let me tell you. Let me tell you this.
How much do you weigh?
I am 5.
Oh,
right. I am 5'5".
Go ahead, Nichelle.
128 pounds. Let somebody ask me. Let somebody come and ask Kevin Frazier, well, how much does she weigh? We fighting. We're fighting. And and if that is her husband, and that gets back, she just had a baby, and it gets back to you that this man is saying, well, how much does she weigh? Oh, I'm mad. I'm mad. And you're going to get a piece of my mind. You're going to get a piece of my mind.
I do not see that as
You
fat.
see it as, at the very least, inappropriate.
Right. It wasn't, I don't necessarily know that it was fat shaming because I don't think that was his intention. What I'm saying is when I say two things can be true at the same time, you could say a lot of stuff that really isn't great and that you shouldn't say. It doesn't mean you were trying to be a jerk.
An idiot, but you were.
You were. Exactly.
Yeah. So Nichelle, I mean, this is all tawdry and it's, delicious.
Yes.
Because it's a good distraction for people to follow. And as you say, it just keeps going on and on. Does it represent anything bigger? Is there a theme here?
Me Too? We've heard a lot about Me Too, the ending of Me Too.
About the Me Too movement?
Well, I think that's what Blake is wanting to assert. that, yes, that there were issues here with sexual harassment. There were issues here with wanting to be treated equally as a woman, and not, feeling belittled, feeling dismissed, feeling disregarded, feeling objectified. Those are all the things that she says were happening there. And I do think we do have to look at that seriously. I do think it's interesting, though, that quickly it seemed like everybody in the cast came out on Blake's side. Now her co-lead, Brandon Sklenar, is really seeming to be neutral. At first, he posted, a statement towards Blake, and he was very Team Blake. He's taken that down. He wore a brooch the other night to the Oscars that was the same brooch, seemingly, that Justin Baldoni wore to the premiere when he was asked about how he feels. Now he's saying, I just want everybody to see the movie. I don't want to have nothing to do with that. So it's interesting what's happening there. But I do think we do have to keep in mind what this woman believes and feels like she went through. It's really tough because we all want to believe that if a woman says she was sexually harassed, that happened. We want to believe that. But we also got to look at everything that's happening.
Yeah. And at different people's interpretations.
Yeah.
Did you own a brooch? Are you going to begin wearing brooches?
Oh, hell no.
Brooches were the men's fashion in place of the ties a lot during award season, Dave. Get into it.
You might want to consider it.
Get into the brooch.
I'll give that a shot.
Get into the brooch.
I'll give that a shot. Just two quick questions left, and we'll let you get out of here. And I'm just curious, going back the last couple of years with Hollywood and 30,000 foot level, you had streaming, you had COVID, you had a writer's strike, things were starting to bounce back. Then you had the LA fires. Yes. How is all this compounded to impact the rapport, the feeling, the momentum, everything that encompasses Hollywood today?
Well, there's definitely a groundswell right now from a lot of actors, producers, directors, to really challenge and lobby the powers that be in the city of Los Angeles and the state of California to get with the program and start giving the tax credits that they need to bring production back here. There's a huge push. I've never seen actors speak out about this like I have in the last couple months since the wildfires of, we want to make movies, we want to make television shows in Los Angeles, but it's too expensive and you've driven us out of here. You've driven us right out of here. And so now we go to Georgia where we get a 30% tax credit. Now we go to Canada where we get the same. Now we go shoot in London. It's cheaper to shoot movies overseas than it is to shoot in Los Angeles and California in a lot of times. And that is wild. So right now, I think the push is to say, there's got to be some changes here. We want to bring this industry back to Hollywood because that is what we love this place for. But we got to have some help. And right now we're not getting a lot of help.
Okay, last question, Nichelle, because you seem to do it so well.
Did I answer that question? Dave, did I answer your question?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I've heard about a Hollywood Vegas. I know Netflix is going to Jersey.
Yeah.
It's clearly been a tough 5 years for the industry, maybe streaming the most because it's cut down on wages. And it's really just the momentum is really at a tough spot.
Yeah, and Nichelle makes a great point. If you kind of have to shoot things in Hollywood, it's Hollywood.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it's known for, that industry. So Nichelle, how do you stay sane? What is your dose of sanity that you can share with our viewers?
Well, you gave the people a little tease. You gave the people a little 1-2 step, a little 5-6 believe in yourself. Yes, you gave the people a little. No, I do. You know what? I was in a really this song is called She Knows, so I guess she does.
He knows.
But you know, a couple years ago, I was in a little bit of a spot. Like it was, you go through those tough spots. I think like Dave was saying, we came out of a pandemic, we had a writer's strike, we were going through all this stuff. And, I was just feeling like I needed something. And my girlfriend, Amanda Klutz, said to me, like, I take dance, come dance with me. And I'm like, what is dance gonna do, honey? I am stressed. But I went with her one day and I was like, what? Oh, what? And it really was something that like made me happy. It had me tap into my femininity a little bit more. like pulled a side of me out that I didn't know that was there. You know, I just turned 50 2 weeks ago, right? So,
Stop it.
Damn.
oh no, I did.
Stop
And
it.
2 days later, y'all, I got my first pair of readers. I needed readers.
Yeah. Wow. That's late. That's late.
I lost my eyesight a few years
Yeah,
ago.
that's late.
too.
Child,
I still don't wear my glasses.
this is the magic elixir. These things unlock the world that I did not.
I was like, whoa.
That I did not know was
here in
there.
the room? I know.
Oh,
Wow.
child. But no,
Yeah.
really, I mean, it really like helped me like tap into a side of myself that I needed, and it calms me. It makes me happy. So I dance, and I started a run club with my family. So that's really, girl, that's all I got.
Nichelle,
So
do
good.
you think Alisyn should try the dance?
Yes, can you come out here and come with me, please?
Yes.
Please.
I want to
Please.
do that.
Alisyn.
I gotta.
Alisyn,
Oh,
when I
Nichelle,
tell you,
please.
it's
Yeah.
so much fun. It's a no judgment zone. Like the girls in there are so supportive, and it is a blast. It's a blast.
I love this idea.
Jersey
Michelle.
girl right
Yeah,
Come on,
I feel like
baby.
there's an inner, striptease.
Let her out. Let the freak
yeah,
flag
I
die.
know, but I do want to do that, Nichelle. But based upon what you've been posting and what we just showed, you have taken to it. You have a natural talent.
Well, I
for
don't
dancing.
listen. We
Yeah.
always make a joke in
You're
my
good.
family. The Turners are probably one of the only Black families that don't have any rhythm. We march to the beat of 2 and 5, not 1 and 4. And I don't know where it came from because nobody in my family does. Nobody, but I just love to dance,
you
and
do.
and it's so much fun. It's really like the best thing ever. And I dance now probably 4 days a week, 4 or 5 days a week. Yeah. And I just love it.
You ever do it on Entertainment Tonight? Because that would spike
yeah,
the rating.
I mean, do you
Right.
want ratings or not?
They would
Nichelle?
listen. The day they let me 5, 6, 7, 8 on that stage, it's a wrap for Entertainment Tonight.
No, that is when there's a groundswell of viewers that find it. Well, Nichelle, I'm going to take you up on that. When I come out to LA, I'm going to go to a dance
I
lesson.
am serious.
Me too.
It is
I
really.
love that.
I'm so excited for this.
It's one of the most things. I have so many celebrities that come up to me every day and they're like, "Can we come to dance class with you? It looks like the most fun." And I'm like, "Please do." It's everything. It really is everything. It's my happy place.
All right. I mean, it doesn't get better than this.
This was terrific.
Can I
We
can
really
I give you
enjoyed it.
guys and your viewers one little suggestion before I leave? Because
Please.
there, like, I know we've got so much going on, but if you have not watched Paradise on Hulu yet, oh, y'all haven't watched. Oh, can I get close
No.
to this camera?
No.
Can I
Yeah,
get
close.
close to
Get in here.
Paradise?
Who's in it? 'Cause I know
Sterling
this. I
K.
keep
Brown
hearing-
is the lead, and he teams up with
Oh,
Dan
yeah.
Fogelman again from This Is
That's
Us,
it.
right? James Marsden plays the president. I mean, if you love, it's also for us TV news folks because it gives us a look into a world that could scare you, but also that you think, could that happen? Could it? And you do get some little nuggets and Easter eggs, I feel like, from maybe the world we're living in now. It's so good. When you get to episode 7, it's going to bring you to your knees. It is so good. So good. Sterling K. Brown plays like he's a Secret Service agent. He's the lead agent for the president. James Marsden is the president, and there's a catastrophe that hits America, and the series is about the aftermath and what happens. It's
My
incredible.
goodness.
It's incredible. It's incredible.
That's a good.
It's
that's
incredible.
Free of charge.
Free of charge. Another dose of sanity. Free of charge.
There you go.
We wish you would come back every week. We'll just throw it out there because
I-
this was awesome. We enjoyed the hell out
Well,
of it.
whenever
Thank you
I will
so-
come back
so
when you
much.
guys want me to come back. Anything for that
Thank
Alisyn
you,
Camerota
dear.
over there.
Thank you, sweetheart. Really great to talk
Of
to you.
course. Same to you,
Wonderful.
love.
So we'll talk soon.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Y'all be good.
You too.
All right.
Wow,
Thank you,
man.
guys.
I mean, there's a lot to take away from that segment, but I can't get past the you dancing thing because I really think you could pull that off. I think you could rock that. I think it might be therapeutic for
I
you.
really, really would like it, but I want to go to exactly her class. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if our town has something like this. I want to go to her class with her because, God, she looks so good doing it.
She looks good, but can you come around? She totally agrees with me on the Oscars.
They're not relevant. She didn't say that.
Oh, the fact that she believes Top Gun was the quintessential example of where the Academy got it wrong.
Yeah.
Is entirely what I'm talking about.
But I do. Okay.
I don't want to fucking see the Jets and Giants in the Super Bowl.
I'm going to give you this. I'm going to give you this point. However, with a caveat, I'm going to let you win this argument with the caveat. You were wrong that it was the lowest rated. The ratings went up. It was the highest rating in 5 years.
No way.
Yes. The ratings are in, and they were the highest in 5 years.
Are you sure of that?
Yes, I'm positive. Now, they are counting all sorts of other streaming things. But they have to.
That cannot possibly be true.
Check it out. I read it on either Oliver Darcy or Brian Stelter. It was the highest in 5 years. Now, it's not just TV. It's not just butts in front of a television screen. It's where you're watching.
I get that. A lot of streaming, a lot of different eyeballs.
Here's my point, is that I think you're missing that it's a great escape, that we're watching it for the fashion, we're watching it for the actors, we're watching it for the seeing, like I said, the glitz and the glamour, the red carpet, the people watching, the dynamics, all of that stuff.
Slow your roll.
What?
You're up 1% from last year.
Highest in 5 years. You said it was going to plummet.
How is it?
You said
if it's up 1%, how is it the highest in 5 years?
Because it's up 1%. Let me explain math. It's the highest in 5 years.
Last year took a dip. All right. I'm going to have to just marking a, okay, just under, okay, marking a 7% decrease from the year before.
Not this year.
I think we're going to have to settle this.
Okay,
I think it's up 1% from last year, but 7% lower than 2023, which was Barbie and Oppenheimer.
Delta,
anyway.
my phone's charging.
As usual. We'll settle this off the air.
No, and we'll bring it back. This is not going away.